Morning. Welcome to our City of Fernandina Beach Commission Candidate Forum here from the Nassau County Chamber of Commerce. I'm one of our board members, Sean McGill. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to learn more about our Group 1 candidates. If you've watched our previous county forums, you know that instead of our normal live audience, we're Zooming. So this is 2020, we're making do. This is being recorded as if it's live. So if there is a Baba Booey, it happens and you guys will see it, and we are not editing it. As a reminder of how we're gonna do our forum, each candidate's gonna have 5 minutes to introduce themselves to you. And then we will start a series of questions and answers. In fairness to each of the candidates, we will rotate through who answers our questions first. And I'd like to introduce our Group 1 City of Fernandina Beach City Commission candidates, Mr. Bradley Bean and Ms. Marianne Phillips. Thank you guys for taking the time to join us.
Hey, thanks for having us.
And we will start with Mr. Bean. If you'd like to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely, Sean. I'd like to start by just saying a big thank you to you and the Chamber. You know, as a member of one of the Chamber committees, I know just how important it is for the businesses, the local businesses and local community to get to know the candidates before they vote. It really makes an impact in deciding and affecting businesses. So thank you for putting this on. And in a different world, I know for a fact how good the coffee is at the Chamber of Commerce. So wish I could be over there, but let's zoom it out. So to get started, I'm Bradley Bean, and I absolutely love my hometown. I'm a third-generation resident of our city. I grew up here, and I hope to make sure it's a great place for my kids one day when they grow up here too. I will do that through my message of low taxes, low government regulation, but keeping the quality of life high. We will make sure we're efficient. I'm an efficiency professional. So that's what I do, and that's how we're going to accomplish this message of low taxes, high quality of life. Let's do more with less, and let's put Fernandina first. I'm Bradley Bean. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. Ms. Phillips, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good morning. I'd like to thank the Chamber for allowing us to come and speak today during this trying time with COVID. COVID has put many challenges on us. Good morning. I'd like to say I'm Marianne Phillips, and I'm running for City Commission Group 1, Fernandina Beach, Florida. I'm president of the Nassau Education Support Personnel Association. I'm the Supervisor Secretary of Attendance for the Nassau County School Board. I am the School Board Liaison for Juvenile Court, 4th Judicial Circuit. I'm Vice President of the Florida AFL-CIO, and I'm also a professional photographer for over 40 years. I'm Vice President of Citizens of Public Beaches and Shores. I am the mother of one son, Wyatt Fenton Lee, who is the jewel of my life. And I'd like to stop right there and explain why I named him what I did. Wyatt means little warrior, and Fenton means dweller of the marsh. And his last name, Lee, my son, is the great nephew of former Mayor and City Commissioner Joseph Smiley Lee, who is the reason we have the Greenway today. I'm a lifelong resident who loves her city. I'm the daughter of a Korean War veteran who is 92 years old. I'm the daughter of a commercial shrimper, whom most of you know, Janie Thomas, who is responsible for saving the Nassau Sound Bridge and who still lobbies in Tallahassee for commercial shrimpers. She has always told me that I can do anything I want to do bad enough. I'm a proven community leader who is wanting to protect her city and our island's treasures. Those treasures are our beaches, the marina, the trees, the people, and the history. Our beaches are some of the most beautiful in Florida. And over the past 3 years, I've worked to protect our customary dry sand use of our beaches. I will continue to protect our rights to access our beaches and our rights to park on our beaches. Our beaches are sovereign land, and they belong to everyone, and everyone should be allowed to access them. Our marina has been in disrepair for quite some time because of the hurricanes, but finally the repairs are being completed. Our marina is a working waterfront, and we are the birthplace of the modern shrimping industry. My vision is to have a wharf-type walkway all the way down the marina so that our shrimp boats can return. so they can sell their shrimp right off the boat, and children can go down to the boats and learn about the shrimping industry and how people catch the shrimp. The marina needs to be open so that all can enjoy it and our beautiful sunset. Our tree canopy is like none other. Our trees protect us from the storms. The deep roots of our live oaks protect us from the rising water, holding the sand dune that we live on together. The large branches protect us from the high winds during the storm. And as city commissioner, I will protect our tree canopy and the greenway for generations to come so they can enjoy them like we are enjoying them now. And our people, the residents that live here and move here, they do that for a reason. It's the small town atmosphere on a barrier island. As a lifelong resident, I've seen the overdevelopment slowly chipping away at our homey atmosphere. As city commissioner, I will be the voice of the people and a servant. I will be counting on those in the community to advise me on issues that they want to be addressed. I will look to those who have sat in my seat before for wisdom and guidance, because it's not about me, it's about we. I will cut wasteful spending by working to lower, not raise taxes. The history of our island and our city is rich. We are the only city in the United States to be under 8 different flags. We have many historic buildings that must be protected. We have stories of pirates that once roamed our island. But one important fact that we have is the memories of the way things used to be. These memories and traditions are what makes our city the gem that it is, a diamond that we call Fernandina Beach. I will protect our rich history as your city commissioner. I'm Marianne Phillips, and I ask for your vote November 3rd to be your next city commissioner. Thank you, and thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Okay, we'll get started with our questions. And like a quick reminder, 1.5 minutes to answer. I'll give you the warning at 1 minute, and then at 1.5 minutes, ask you to wrap it up. And we'll rotate through. Mr. Bean, you're first alphabetically, so you're the first candidate in the hot seat. And here we go. What, in your opinion, is the single most important characteristic a person must have to be a successful city commissioner?
Well, let me tell you what I think that is, and it is good communication skills. Far too often, I see people that have a good message, but maybe can't communicate that out as much. And so my goal as a city commissioner will be all about communication. Let's let the public hear what we have to say. Let's take this and I have, again, my message of low taxes, low government regulation. We're going to create this great plan of a small government, and we're going to communicate that out to the people. I think the citizens would love what the commission was doing if they could hear the message. And with that, let's flip it around. I think the best thing that we can also do is the ability to listen. So communication goes both ways. And so communication is giving the message out and hearing what the people have to say. To me, it all comes back to communication, and that's how we're going to put Fernandina first, is the ability to communicate, listen, to talk, to just communicate. And that's what I think is that important thing. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. Ms. Phillips, what do you think is the most important characteristic a person must have to be successful as a commissioner?
I think they have to be a great listener. God gave us 2 ears, 2 eyes, and a mouth for a reason. And we need to be better listeners. You know, we can communicate and say things, just say whatever people want to hear and make them feel good. I'm not that kind of person. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. And, you know, we need to be friendly towards people. The people who elect us are our constituents. I've sat in many commission meetings where the people who are sitting behind the desk have not been very friendly to the people that have elected them. I don't plan to do that at all. I want to be able to be here for the people when they need me, because I'm not sitting in that seat for myself. I'm sitting in that seat to help people to get their message across of what they want for our city.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. We're going to keep you on the hot seat now for our second question. And I guess it's widely known that there are those that claim that the city of Fernandina Beach has a business unfriendly reputation. I'd like to hear what your description of a business friendly community would be.
I don't really see our city as being unfriendly. I've shopped downtown. I have friends that have owned businesses down there for many years, but I don't know where that aspect really has come from. I think that there has been issues in the past where there's been conflicts with the city commission and business owners. And I think that that's something that needs to be worked on by going and meeting the people that own these businesses and working with them to solve the issues that they have. I know that there's some issues about trash downtown that I've heard about with the trash cans that I never even thought about. You know, if you're not working in the environment down there, you don't really absolutely know what all's going on. So we just need to build relationships. It's all about relationships.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Mr. Bean, what's your description of a business-friendly community?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to start by saying I really do. I like a lot of the city. I like the city staff. I like the city staff, and I want to emphasize that what is unfriendly, it's the process and the regulations that are unfriendly. It's not the people, because the people are very friendly. I can confirm. How can we make things more friendly for business? How can we make things more friendly with these regulations? Let's make sure that we are more on par with the county. I want wherever you open a business, you to have the same similar process, whether that's out in the county, whether that's up in the city. Obviously, we want to make sure we maintain our sense of place. We want to make sure that we maintain our unique identity as Fernandina Beach. But I really think that we shouldn't be punishing business owners for opening their business on the wrong side of the street. Let's encourage businesses to open inside city limits by making sure the regulations are comparable to what their county counterparts are getting. To me, that is what it means to be to business friendly, is to do that as there. So back to you, Sean. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. You're on the hot seat for the next question.
Absolutely.
And as a commissioner, how would you handle a conflict between a staff recommendation for a course of action versus what you're hearing from your constituents? And maybe tell me how you would work through that thought process a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, Sean, the great part about being on the city commission is that you get to talk to a lot of smart people. There's smart people and there's experts for everything. So for some issues, if the staff is recommending one thing and the citizens are another, maybe it's time to hear the voice of other experts in the field. There's never one thing. I'm an engineer. I'll tell you one thing is there's never enough information. So there's always can be more information is the way I mean to phrase that. So I certainly hope that how I would handle it if there is a huge divisive issue with staff on one side and citizens on another. Let's make the call that best helps the citizens of Fernandina Beach by getting all the information. Let's gather the facts and let's make the right call. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. Ms. Phillips, how would you kind of work through a conflict in recommendations between what staff is recommending versus what you're hearing from your constituents?
Okay, well, first of all, Mr. McGill, as a union president, and I've been union president since 2012, but I've been on a bargain committee since 2001 when I first joined the union, and we negotiate and bargain. And so negotiating is when you give and take. You have to sit down and weigh out all of the issues with everybody involved. And I have quite a bit of experience with that. I have different classifications that I work with the school board. So I'm used to having different personalities. And once again, it all goes back to relationships. And I believe that if people sit down and negotiate and work things out, that you can come to a common goal.
Thank you. And along this line for our next couple of questions is our relationships between city commission and city staff. So Ms. Phillips, do you feel it's the job of a city commissioner to take direction from staff regarding budgeting? And what do you think is the most efficient and thoughtful, thorough way to approach the budgeting and decision-making process?
No, sir. I believe that you need to work with the city manager and the comptroller on the budget. It's not city staff that should be coming to the city commission. I believe that we should follow the chain of command and go to our city manager and our comptroller for the issues that need to be addressed.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bean, do you think it's the job of the city commissioner to take direction from staff regarding budgeting? And what do you think is the most efficient way to work through that process?
Absolutely, Sean. It is certainly a balance. It's a balance of listening to city staff who are the ones making the budget. We want to hear from the end user, if that makes sense. So we want to hear from the staff, but we also want to listen to the people. We don't take all of our direction from one place or another. It's all about gathering the best information that we can. It's about making sure we make a budget that makes sense. And that's one that for me is going to be streamlined. We're going to make sure that budget is efficient. We're going to make sure that we look at all the places we can take out waste. You know, I'm an efficiency professional is what I do. I'm an engineer in efficiency. And I always look at budgets all the time, and I see where can we allocate the best effort to make sure that we get the best bang for our dollar. So that's information that we can use to make that decision. Is going to come both from the staff. It's going to come from the people who are receiving the services that we get as a city. And that all will come together to make a very good decision. That's how we can make this happen. And so to answer your question, yes, but it's a balance. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. And sticking with you and kind of in terms of budgeting and expenses, the city manager recently went to the county commission requesting funding to support the Parks and Recreation Department. Would you be in favor of consolidating this or any other department with the county to reduce expenses and duplication of services?
You know, I wouldn't want to rule anything out in a debate like this because all options are always something you need to look at when you move forward. But to answer your question, yes, I would not be in. I would be in favor of maybe reducing the amount. But what I do want to make sure of is we get a fair deal no matter where it is. Right now in the city, I don't know, and I'm sure the people know this that are watching this video at home. The city pays for services for non-city taxpayers, and that's a lot of them. That's all over the board, whether that's in the police and fire, whether that's in Parks and Recreation. People who don't pay city taxes are able to use our services, and that is great. That's part of what keeps the charm of Fernandina Beach awesome. But I would certainly like to see us talk with the county. Let's make a deal. Let's work it out. How can we make sure that we get a fair deal for our city taxpayers that makes it equitable with our county taxpayers only? Because I pay both city and county taxes, and I want to make sure we get our best bang for our buck. There are other ways to save money too that I think we should look at first, but let's make sure we're getting a fair deal out of the county is what I want to highlight.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. Ms. Phillips, like we spoke about, the city recently requested funding from the county for Parks and Rec. Would you be in favor of consolidating this or any other department with the county to reduce expenses and reduce duplication of services?
I'm not quite sure that I agree with that. I remember reading about that in the paper and following it in the city commission meeting. But the one thing that we need to be very careful about is that when expenditures are made, that they are approved before they make those purchases. And recently Parks and Rec did purchase some equipment before it was approved, and I was very upset about that. I do know that I pay city and county taxes, and there needs to be a balance between the city and the county, and we need to come together and try to figure that out. Yes, they do use a lot of our parks and the pools and other things that we have here. And, you know, maybe they need to pay a little bit more than what we're paying to use them, or maybe we shouldn't pay anything to use them since we're paying taxes. But that's something that I plan to work with the county commissioners. We've got some newly elected county commissioners, and I think they're pretty great people, and I'm excited, and I want to be able to work with them to try to figure out some of these issues.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. All right, last couple of questions. We're in the home stretch. Take a breath. You guys we appreciate your participation. And obviously this would not be a Chamber of Commerce forum without the following question. So for Ms. Phillips, what is your opinion of the role of the Chamber of Commerce in interacting with the City Commission?
Okay, the role of the Chamber of Commerce has to do with businesses. And, you know, we've got a lot of businesses here that need to be protected, downtown, the small businesses. And, you know, these are working families that live here, people who bring their children here that start these businesses. And we need to work closely with the Chamber of Commerce to make sure that our small businesses are protected. And the City Commission, that's one of our duties, is to work closely with our Chamber of Commerce. You know, when people open up a business here, they came here, they thought it would be a wonderful place to start the business. And a lot of them have families and they buy homes here. And I just believe that we need to work with those, with the Chamber of Commerce very closely. And I'd like to have a good relationship with the Chamber when I'm elected.
Thank you. Mr. Bean, what do you think the role of the Chamber is in interacting with the City Commission?
Absolutely. The role of the Chamber is vital. In terms of business, Chamber of Commerce are the experts. That is something for sure. I always like to hear from the experts when you're making any kind of decision. And when it comes to business, you got to hear from the Chamber. As someone who serves on a Chamber committee, I certainly know how important it is to get that feedback from all different kinds of businesses. Something I like to see recently, and it is so important in times like these, is the Chamber COVID resolution that went to the city. I would have liked to see that get passed immediately, which included such things as avoiding costly regulations, suspending business fees and taxes, things like that. We need to get them done when the businesses need them done, because really what is truly the lifeblood of any small community, what's truly the lifeblood of any community, is our small businesses and our big businesses alike. Let's make sure that we keep people working and that we keep people working in the city of Fernandina Beach. It's all about jobs. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. And our final question, guys. And remember, you get 2 minutes to answer this. Kind of use it as your summary question. And starting with Mr. Bean, simply put, why are you the best candidate for this position?
Absolutely. Let's jump on into that. You know, I think it all started with my grandfather when he moved here, you know, back in the 50s. He moved here in the 50s, and he himself, after World War II, he played football. He became a teacher at Fernandina Beach High School. He taught shop, and he himself served on the City Commission of Fernandina Beach. I come from a long line of public servants, and I hope to be the next humble public servant that comes forward and serves my community. When I finished up school at the University of Florida and got my engineering degree, there was a lot of options in where you could go work. There were places, there were big cities that had really big companies that were all hiring engineers all across. But I just knew that I had to come home. I knew that Fernandina Beach, Florida is the place where I needed to be. I needed to come here. I needed to work. And I became a homeowner. And I became a homeowner, and I started to live my life, started my career here, and I love living here. Now that I'm here, I see high taxes, and as a young professional, it's tough to pay these high taxes. It's a hard business to be in as a taxpayer, and I want to make sure that we maintain an efficient government to do justice with all these taxpayers' money. I love my hometown. I love where I live, and I want to make sure that we stay a great place to live for hardworking families, and we stay a great place to live so one day my kids could say the same thing that I'm saying right now. For that reason, I'm Bradley Bean. I'm ready to put Fernandina Beach first in 2020. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. Ms. Phillips, why are you the best candidate for this position?
Well, as your city commissioner, I will protect our environment, keep our taxes low, ensure that our tree ordinances are enforced, and protect our rights to access our beaches. I'm going to protect our small town lifestyle and values. I'm not a politician who is seeking to gain favor with his or her political party. I'm running to save the Fernandina that I grew up to love, which is my home. A person running for office should not be judged on what's behind or in front of their name. What's important is, are they for the citizens that they will serve, and for the working families who live and support local businesses and small businesses that call Fernandina home. I'm Marianne Phillips, and I'm running for City Commission, Group 1, Fernandina Beach, and I would like your vote on November 1st. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. And I would like to thank both of you, Mr. Bradley Bean and Ms. Marianne Phillips, for participating in our Chamber Candidate Forum. I know you would much rather be looking at smiling faces right now. We'd love to be seeing all the smiling faces as well, but we're hoping to get your message out to the community. I'd like to thank everybody watching for taking the time to learn more about our candidates. And if you'd like to learn even more, you can view their candidate questionnaires on our website, NassauCountyFLChamber.com, NassauCountyFLChamber.com. Thanks again for watching. Hope everybody stays healthy, and remember to vote in whichever your preferred method is on November 3rd. Have a great day.
Thank you.